Well, good morning. I'm wondering if you can answer this one question as a real estate agent, and more importantly, can you answer it effectively? We're going to talk about that today. Welcome to today's morning meeting. I'm Greg Luther, the one guy that meets with you every single day to help you in growing your real estate business. Today, we're going to talk about the big question in order for you to get listings in today's market. Any seller that's out there is going to have one important question, and I want to make sure you can effectively answer it. So what I'm going to do is, after I ask you the question, I'm going to have you pause me here with the interactivity so you can go to a piece of paper and write down your answers. I want you to write down your answers before you watch the rest of the video. So do me a favor right now. If you need to pause me right now, you can. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. I want you to grab that first so we can get started here. The big problem for a lot of agents is they consider themselves a commodity. They actually think that, oh, you already know an agent? I guess you don't need me. Oh, your brother's a realtor? I guess you don't need me. Oh, you want to use the realtor that sold you the house originally? I guess you don't need me. They don't know that there's a difference in real estate agents, what they do, what they provide, and ultimately the results that they're able to get for that homeowner. You are not a commodity, because here's the bad news. If you are a commodity, completely replaceable by someone else that just has a license, there's somebody in your town that will list every home for $999. Actually, there's some that'll do it for cheaper in every single state. But there are plenty of people that will list the home for $1,000 or for 1%. So you've already been replaced, and there's virtually no need for anybody to use you if they're shopping around, right? So here's my question for you. I'm going to ask you the question. I want you to pause this and ponder it for a minute and write down as many answers as you can, as fast as you can. Let's make it a race to see how many answers you can write down. So let's say you're meeting with a homeowner today. They're thinking about selling their home, and they blatantly tell you, look, we're interviewing 2 other agents. We figured it was best for us to interview 3, see who's going to do best for us here. Okay. So here's the number one question I have for you. Why are you better than anybody else that I would interview? What makes you better? Why should I use you in lieu of all other options? So I want you to think about that for a minute. Why are you better than the other options? Why should I use you in lieu of those other options? I want you to pause the video and write down as many answers as you can think of. Do that right now. I'm going to give you just a second to go ahead and do that right now. How many answers can you come up with? Why should I use you in lieu of all other options? What makes you better? So I'll give you a second to do that. Okay, so hopefully you are back now. You have a list of all of the reasons that they should use you in lieu of all other options, all of the reasons you are superior to everyone else. Now, if that's what you are, and if I'm a homeowner and I plan to be using you as my listing agent, I certainly hope you didn't say the same thing that everybody else said. Right? Like if I said, why are you a different human being? If you're like, well, I have eyeballs, and I have hair, and I have a nose, and I drive a car. If you're saying all the things that all the other agents are saying, it doesn't really make you any different. So what I want you to do is look at your list right now. I'm going to give you some things you have to cross off because everybody says it. Any version of, I really care about your business, customer service is important to me, I'm always there for you, I want you to cross that off. Go ahead and cross it off now, because everybody says it. I always answer my phone and you can reach me at any time. Kind of another version of that. Cross that off. I'm with a big brokerage, a fast growing brokerage, one of the best brokerages in town. Cross that off. I was born and raised here in this area. I know this area like the back of my hand. I'm very familiar with the market and the price ranges and all of the areas. Cross that off. Are you starting to see that what you're saying is what the other 2 agents are saying? It's almost a carbon copy. So it doesn't make you different. It doesn't make you better. It certainly doesn't make you stand out above the competition. What I'm asking you is, what can you do? What is your superpower? I don't need to talk to you. Like, customer service is important. Anytime you call, you're going to reach me. What the hell would I want to call you for? I don't want you. I want you to go sell the house. My time is valuable. I don't want to call you. I don't want you calling me. I don't want any of that. I want you to go sell the house. If I'm calling you, it's keeping you from selling the house. What do you mean customer service? I don't need any customer service. I need you to go sell the house. I want to sell it for $77 billion, right? So look at your list and truly ask yourself, is this meaty enough? Is there enough meat to this? Is this a meaty enough presentation to say, this is why you should use me in lieu of all other options? I am superior to the other two agents, including your brother or sister who's a realtor and the agent that sold you this home 4 years ago. Are you superior to those options? And do those factors matter? Now, again, if you're trying to win on personality, if you're trying to win on connecting with it, oh, you went to that school, I went to that school too. If you're doing that, first of all, that's not what rapport is. You're not building rapport by finding something in common. You need trust, authority, and credibility. You need to show that there's actually a difference in what it is you do, why you're superior, and how that affects results for them. Not just spew a bunch of stuff and think they know why that's going to help them. Because what happens, like if we use the word target marketing, the vast majority of homeowners, because they don't know any better, like they watch the news, right? That's a good way to get misinformed. If you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. If you do watch the news, you're misinformed, right? So their theory is, well, I don't need all that stuff. My home's going to sell in a day. The last 5 homes I sold a home in Connecticut and Texas and New Mexico, and all of them sold in one day. I sold it all by myself, right? Like they have the superpower of, since I live here, everybody wants to buy my house. That has nothing to do. You sold those homes before the internet, before COVID, before all of this other stuff. So if I say the word target marketing, they'll say, I don't really see value in that because my home's going to sell in a day and we're going to get 50 offers and it's going to be over asking price. That's because the presentation sucked. That's because you didn't show them why there's a difference there. That's because you didn't show them of the active listings that are out there now. This one's been on 51 days. What? 51 days? How is that possible? I thought everything was selling right. No, you've got some idiots that overprice homes, right? So you have to look at not only giving the value of what you can do, but showing them how that's a benefit for them. I'm going to do this for you, and here's why you should be very interested in that. I'm going to do this for you, and here's why it creates a superior result. I'm going to do this for you, and it's very expensive on my part, which is why no other agents do this. This is the type of presentation you need to be giving, the value stack, to show them, here is why you should be going with me. But if you're saying the same thing everybody else does, I really care about your business. Customer service is important to me. I'm a really strong negotiator. That's another one. Cross that off, by the way. I'm a really strong negotiator. Like the last 5 deals you've done, the last deals you've done over the last 5 years have probably been over asking price, right? But, we think that's a good thing to say. So everybody says the same thing. What I'm asking you today, can you pass this test? What do you do that nobody else does? And how's that a benefit for me as a homeowner? That's what you need to focus on here. So if your presentation is like everybody else, if you're like, Greg, how did you know that I wrote all those down? How did you know I'm a strong negotiator? I care about your business. I'll make sure that you don't do anything that's going to get you into trouble. I'll try and mitigate any losses that you would have or any lawsuits that could come up or anything like that. I know the area really well. I always answer my phone. If those are the things you're saying, you are in fact a commodity. You're trying to win on customer service, right? And the vast majority of people won't talk to you if you do call them. They don't want to talk. Like, why would I want my waitress to come back every 30 seconds? It's always like they come back way too often. Damn, we're trying to have a conversation. I'm trying to eat my food here. Why do you keep checking on me? Or they never come around. Where's this damn waitress at? They can't get it right. They're either never there or they're there way too often, right? Bring me my food. I'll let you know if I need anything. Well, it's the same thing with a listing agent. If I hire you, go do your damn job. I don't want you to be available for me to call you 3 times a day. This isn't my job. It's your job. So start scratching off all those things that maybe you've used over the years and you thought were benefits, because if you're going to restructure your value prop, if you're really going to get this value proposition the way it needs to be, We've got to stack it. We've got to stack on things that they're like, wow, I didn't even know you could do that. Wow, I can see how that's going to make a difference in my sales price, my time on the market, my net number that I'm actually going to clear. All of those factors. And if you get good at this, you're going to be listing a lot more houses. If you don't get good at it, you're going to be frustrated because you're going to think that the business has become commoditized. Well, let me tell you, if all of you say the same thing, if I bring in 3 realtors, this is important. If I bring in 3 realtors and all of you say the same thing, there's only one way I can decide. Who charges me the least and promises me the highest price? Because you're all the same. There's no difference. Now, if I can see a difference between them, I may even pay a premium. I may go with your platinum option, your gold option. If I see value in that, I may choose you even though you're more expensive. As a matter of fact, a small percentage of the population will do that every time, myself included. If I see something for sale, whichever one is the most expensive would be the one that I buy, because that means it's better. It's got better options, it's better upgrade, something. So if everybody looks exactly the same, of course, I'd be stupid not to go with the cheap one. I'd be stupid not to go with the one that says they can sell it for more money. In the public's perspective, that's what they'd be thinking. But if there is a different value stack, a different value proposition that you offer, first of all, I'll choose you against the others. And I may even choose you if you charge a higher fee, because like you're worth it. So look down at your paper and think, if I were a homeowner and I were interviewing 3 other agents, those other agents are probably going to say these things too. Do I have enough on my paper here? We've got a session we'll be covering at the coaching retreat coming up for all of you that are Inner Circle coaching members on how do I build this value stack? How do I make sure that I'm able to bring in as much revenue as possible by showing these sellers there is a difference in agents and I am a superior option for them. So we've got that coming up very soon. A lot of what we do is about separating, what do I offer that nobody else does? If you're not a member with us, you can see the video description below. There's some links down there. The getfastclosings.com is a really good way for you to just start getting closings now. It's a free training. Click the button down there. It's a free training on how to set yourself apart. But very simple here. If you sound like everybody else, you will be sold out to somebody that's cheaper or that gives them a false promise. You're going to hate that this keeps happening to you, that the industry has turned into this, that all that crap that goes on your head because you're losing. You're looking for excuses as to why you're losing. Look at the freaking paper. That's why you're losing. I want you to win. I want to help you to win. I want to give you all of the tools that we can so you feel great about where you're at, about where you're going, about the money you're able to earn, how you're beating inferior agents and even earning a higher fee for doing so because you are a superior option. But you've got to get good at what you're doing and you have to change your current approach. If you keep doing the same thing, I promise you, you're going to get the same results. That is going to happen. So you've got to make these changes here. If you look at, all of the morning meetings that we do here, which by the way, you should be following the channel and ring the bell, turn on notifications here. If you're following this channel, you see that each day we're giving you some sort of tip to help you in growing your business. A lot of times it'll refer back to Inner Circle coaching because obviously that's what you should be involved with so we can get you making a lot more money. And with Inner Circle coaching, you start to build that value proposition. You get your marketing campaigns right. You're able to bring in a lot more leads so you can go on more appointments and ultimately do a better job with those presentations. Get them to sign on the line that is dotted. So hopefully this is helpful for you to look at that piece of paper and think, man, maybe I need to build a lot more value. I only have like 2 or 3 things here. I don't even know how I would present that to them. And worse, you definitely don't want to speak them and then not tell them why that's a benefit. Like, oh yeah, I market to the most opportune buyer and then not explain what that even means. You got to get good at your value proposition. We'll be covering that on a couple of the upcoming coaching calls here. I think you'll find them very helpful. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know. But do me a favor. If you have realtors, friends in the business that you think could maybe get motivated a little bit, could build a value proposition for themselves, could do a better job when they go out on presentations. Today, we're talking specifically about sellers. Of course, we do a lot on the buyer side as well. But if you know some agents that this would be helpful for, click the share button, share this with them, help them out as well. I think you'll find that it'll help our entire community, and it may actually give us a better reputation in the marketplace. Enough of us start to utilize this approach, of the thousands and thousands of agents that I work with all over the country. When I do a video on Facebook, many of you know I've got 70 some thousand real estate agents following there and over 300,000 pixeled, like 30% of our freaking entire realtor community. When we do something there, it can create a ripple effect across the real estate market. I want you to just start with you and your bank account to begin with, but find a friend or somebody in the business you think this might help and share it with them too. Hopefully this is of service to you. Look down at that piece of paper and think, maybe I need to spend some time today really building a value proposition so when I do get appointments, I can do a better job and I can close those deals. I'm Greg Luther. Thanks so much for watching today. Go out and make some money, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye for now.